Another substitution here for Mexico. Just trying to work out who has gone off the field of play. It's Guardado who's been taken off. On in his place, I believe, is Jesus Manuel Corona. It is, the number 17 who plays his football with Porto. Dyed blonde hair, easily recognisable. We're hoping that he can inspire them on to getting something in this game. A victory, a draw looks unlikely, but consolation maybe. He's helped win a corner here. He thinks about taking it quickly, but decides against it. He's going to leave responsibilities to one of his teammates. 15 minutes left to go. Corona gets the short ball, sends a good delivery in at the far post. It's come back off the keeper. Might have even hit the post as well. I think the flag has gone up for offside. That's the first save that Olsen has made in some time, maybe all game. But it was one that possibly wasn't required with an offside given anyway. Hernandez was involved in the mix. It's a great ball in from the substitute Corona. Hernandez was well offside when that one came in at the far post.
Yeah, well offside, getting in behind the defence, and I think he knew it as well. But having said that, if Salcedo had got a better touch, then it wouldn't have mattered. It's an awkward height for the central defender. It's kind of waist height, and he just tried to thrust it towards goal. It glanced off him. Hernandez way offside, but like you say, Olsen has had nothing to do in this game. Alert at that far post, made the save, didn't matter. And Sweden heading for a very good victory. They've deserved it as well. They've created a number of chances. I wondered if fatigue might become a factor, but I think Mexico have done probably less in this second half than they did the first. And of course they conceded 3. So fair play to Sweden. It might still get better for them.
Yeah, they've not just come and done the job, they've put the opposition to the sword and made sure there were going to be no mistakes at all. Talon here will go and try and chase a lost cause. In the end, he gives up on it when Salcedo peels the way around the back to sweep up, with Alvarez blocking off Talon. Mexico come on forward down the left-hand side. Fired forward in towards Hernandez. Can't quite get there, though, the West Ham United striker. Sweden then lose it as they approach the halfway line. You wonder if this is going to knock Mexico's confidence for the knockout stages, if of course they get there. As things stand, they are, having won their first 2 matches, beating Germany, and to lose so heavily in this last match when all they needed was a draw. They've just not been able to defend. I think we've found out what the issues might well be with this Mexico side. Great counter-attacking, even when they played Germany in that first game. I think there was a huge amount of luck in their favour. They got the goal quite early and defended. Germany had so many chances but just didn't convert. And you feel had they been a bit more accurate, they may well have been able to turn that game around, having seen Sweden put 3 past them today.
That's a little bit hindsight, but I think what's more surprising in this tournament is that Mexico beat Germany, not that Sweden beat Mexico. I mean, I thought coming into this, if you had asked me before the tournament, I could have easily seen Sweden beating Mexico, but not Germany. So I think that's the surprise. Sweden, big physical, they've worked hard, and they put themselves around. Set pieces have been a problem, but they haven't just tried to settle for set pieces, have they? I mean, they've just had a number of chances. Yeah. Mexico haven't been able to live with them physically. I think they've just been out-muscled as much as anything. And again, as I say, they're quite a slight team, aren't they? They prefer to play a bit of pass and move football, try and get it down on the deck, and I think they've just been too big for them.
Yeah, they've come up against a bigger side today that has proved too strong for them. There's almost tears from some of the Mexico fans who, as I say, I think are just so nervous at the moment about what's going to happen in the next 10 minutes. Everything is out of their hands. They're losing this game. They're not going to turn it around. Here comes Sweden maybe to make it even worse as they work it right hand side. I think the best ball was left potentially Toivonen in there, but the pass from Tellin poor. It will go behind for a goal kick. In fact, no, it was kept in place. It will just be a restart from the goalkeeper, and they've worked their way up towards the halfway line. Germany still pressing on in their game, but not finding any joy. In fact, South Korea have had a couple of chances as well late on, with Germany overcommitting. There's a free kick now for Mexico in a really good position here. Carlos Reyes over the top of it. This might provide them with a chance to get a goal. Depends how good the execution is. We're going to see Heilemark come on for Sweden. Ekdal is set to leave the play He was one of those walking a tightrope prior to the game with a yellow card to his name, but he's not picked up a further one, so he will be available for the knockout stages. It's Oscar Heijermark who comes on for Sweden, as you know, a midfielder. 23 caps already to his name. Scored twice previously. Don't expect him to be getting on the score sheet today. I think he's come on now just to try and make sure in that midfield solidify things. And the free kick comes in here straight into the wall. Comes back out towards Fabian, the Mexico substitute. Step over to Plenty out on the left-hand side as they tried to create an angle. I think Herrera did a bit too much. Fortunately, he managed to keep a hold of the ball, and it's been switched to the right-hand side with Corona. Twisting and turning, beats his man, chips it far post. Will be brought down there. Volley comes in, it's scuffed and it's somehow gone wide. Vea was at the far post, did get ahead to it, but couldn't divert it goalwards. Hernandez was the man who drilled it across goal.
Yeah, I mean, it's great play from Hernandez. I think they're just defending centrally, aren't they? Because Hernandez, he's just kept his position. It's just on the left edge of the 6-yard box, and they're just getting a wall of yellow in front of him. It's great control for Hernandez. He's got time to let the ball come down. In fairness to Lustig, he's thrown himself back. It took a little deflection, but still, Carlos Vela's seen that. And he's trying to control the header. It's not like he's reacting to it. It's just a very poor header from Carlos Vela. He hits the target. It's 3-1. I know it doesn't change the game necessarily, but he shouldn't be missing that. He's 2 yards out.
Yep, it's not been his day today at all. And as things stand, it won't matter because they are going through. There seems to be less nerves from the German fans that I can see in the other game in Kazan rather than the Mexico fans, although we've just seen a shot of the Mexico fans all crowded around looking at a phone and laughing, so I think they realise that Germany are being held at the moment, so they are going through. I suppose that's where the nerves have come from. Those that haven't got an insight into the game elsewhere maybe fear that Germany are beating South Korea, but that is not the case. 9 minutes left to go in Kazan. Germany 0, South Korea 0. In Yekaterinburg, the game we focus on, Mexico 0, Sweden 3. Corona stopped here down the right-hand side. Ball has got away from him and gone out for a throw-in. Yep, all the Mexico fans now on their phones, looking at updates from elsewhere. And it's a tense finish for them. Sweden have got to throw deep inside their own half with Augustinsson. Loops it down the line. Tellin does well to get his body in the way. Looked as though there was a hand there from Herrera in the midfield, and yeah, it has eventually been spotted, and the free kick will be given. Again, surely that has to be a card. It looks so intentionally. His hand was raised up above his head just to bring it down and try and spin and turn away there. The referee, I think, has let himself down with the handballs today, having given 2 free kicks for intentional handballs and no cards for either of them. But as we head into the closing stages of this game, Sweden currently on course for the knockout stages.
Yeah, as Mexico try and break down the right-hand side. I think it's been really disappointing from their attacking force. Okay, they haven't had as much service as they'd like, but Vela's missed a sitter. I don't think he's got himself involved enough. Hernandez is right at the focal point, and nobody supplied the passes to. I thought Irving Lozano's been a little bit disappointed, as Fabian's made a real difference, at least with his energy. Keeps a ball in, which he's hooked away. But I mean, Lozano, I was hearing big things about him. He's done nothing in this game. Layun's done nothing. Maybe they thought all they needed was a point and they didn't quite have the intensity, but I mean, it's backfired big time.
Mexico forward on the right-hand side with Corona. Wants to beat his man as always. Does get a cross in, and it's an awkward one for Olsen, but he catches well and claims it.
Into the final few minutes in this Group F clash, Sweden in cruise control, but really Mexico should have at least had a goal. Corona down the right-hand side, a substitute brought on in place of Guardado, had time and space, delivered a great ball to the far post. Hernandez just kept his position on the left edge of the 6-yard box. He wasn't really trapped by Sweden. He chested it down, volleyed it towards goal, took a slight deflection off Lustig, but he was still heading towards the far post. Carlos Vela, no more than 2 yards out, had a header, put it over and wide. They should have at least had what probably would be a consolation, but they haven't taken it. It's not been Mexico's day. It very much has been Sweden's. Mexico 0, Sweden 3.
5 minutes just over left to go in Yekaterinburg. Both of these sides heading to the knockout stages. Yanni Anderson is remaining calm on the bench. It's a certainty that Sweden will be going through. The only question is, will Mexico or Germany be joining them? Long ball forward now, over the top for Sweden, and that's going to be a free kick. Lyon clashes and picks up a yellow card. He's continuing his complaints towards the referee, but there's no use now. Decision's been made, card has been shown. I think his Mexico teammates are trying to pass that message on to him, just to back off and leave. Getting the better. Oh, that's a nasty one actually from Lyon, right in the back of the head there. For me, there was intent in that. Proven than it is that catches the forearm. That was not nice to watch at all from the Mexico wide man. Seb Larsson, in good news for Sweden, is back on the bench, having been stretchered off a little bit earlier on. He finds himself back out there, so obviously the injury is not maybe as serious first feared. Sweden yet to even put the ball down to take this free kick. They're in no hurry at all, leading by 3-0.
Yeah, well, I've seen it seemingly underestimated this group. I didn't think it was particularly tough looking. I thought Germany would obviously coast through it, but I mean, Mexico surprised the Germans. Sweden with the way that they play. I mean, they gave Germany a real good go. They've certainly played Mexico off the park, and South Korea are currently holding Germany. I don't know whether it's just because Germany aren't very good right now, but everybody's giving Germany a game, and nobody saw that coming.
Yeah, I think they've only got 2 wins in their last 8 games, Germany, so form coming into the tournament wasn't great. One of those wins prior to the tournament was against Saudi Arabia, but yeah, held at the moment by South Korea. Understand they'll be heading home following today's game. The reigning world champions, looks as though their grip on the World Cup is setting away with every second that passes. Mexico trying to get themselves some credit from this game with potentially a consolation goal. Across the halfway line they'll go in towards Salcedo. Flips it over the top towards the head of Hernandez, but he's beaten to it by Lindelof. Mexico have to start again back inside their own half. Slow and pedestrian. They've never really burst into well, rightly so, I think, for Lustig.
I think it's a bit silly, really. I mean, you're 3-0 up with 2.5 minutes to go. Why not let them get to the byline? Even if they get a consolation, you can take time off the clock. I mean, it's a clear obstruction. I mean, it's not going to hurt Lozano too much, but it's just a little bit needless. That yellow card might come back to haunt him, you never know. It's an opportunity for Mexico. They haven't threatened too often in this game, let alone from set pieces. That really has been an Achilles heel. They're going to make just a little change here before that one. Leon's coming off, so he's going to be replaced for the last couple of minutes. I just wonder whether, Mexico have been going through the motions since, Sweden took the lead. That was 50 minutes ago. They might as well just take the time. They're not going to turn this game around.
Yeah, so number 19, Peralta, who comes on. All right, but Peralta, Lyon has actually just gone behind the goal. He stood behind the goal at the moment. I don't know if the referee's happy with that, but that's where he's taken up his position for the time being. Free kick is eventually taken. It's come off the Swedish head and will